lack confidence in myself. Confidence is still always an ongoing struggle. And I always have to give myself a little pep talk in the morning. Like, I used to be so nervous going out every morning. What's the worst that's going to happen? If you try it, you fail. If you're with a good group of people, they're going to come get you out anyway. So ladies, just make sure you have your sled family, people that you can rely on. If you're struggling, they're able to help you get you and your sled out, or they're able to teach you. That is what girls need. They need their best sled family.
Today we have a special guest who's here to share her incredible journey and the passion that fuels her adventurous spirit. I am so thrilled to have Samantha Kyle join us today. In this episode, we discuss Sam's snowmobile journey, from her special moments she experiences while navigating the rugged mountain terrain. But it's not all about the thrill of the ride. Sam is here to open up with us about the real challenges she faces in the extreme sport. So join us today on how Sam overcomes struggles and obstacles. Her story is not just about snowmobiling, but it's a powerful testament to resilience and courage. So I'll catch you on the other side. Before we begin, I want to make this special announcement. In a few days, it is going to be June 1st. June 1st is my birthday, and I am hosting a new dirt bike challenge. Now, this is going to be something a little bit different. If you didn't catch it on my newsletter, what are you doing? Go sign up for my newsletter. You can do that at angelisaedwards.com. I'll leave a link in the show notes. I am doing a 15-day slow wheelie dirt bike challenge. Now, this is something completely new to me. It's something that I'm working on, and perhaps it's something that you want to work on as well. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to start on June 1st, but I'm giving you and myself 30 days to complete 15 days of doing a slow wheelie. This doesn't mean that you have to get a slow wheelie every time, but it's taking the time, dedicating time to learn how to do a slow wheelie. I don't expect myself to master it within 15 days or 30 days, but what I do expect is me to kind of figure it out and to learn as I go while I am learning a slow wheelie. So I thought it would be fun. I do have a private Facebook group where we keep each other accountable. If you want in, I'm going to leave that link in the show notes as well. And you just have to answer a couple questions, but boom, you're in, and let's do this. The slow wheelie challenge, 15 days slow wheelie challenge, starts June 1st, which is Saturday. You got to plan for it. You got to schedule it in, make it a non-negotiable, and that is how you complete challenges. So let's do it. I am so excited, and I can't wait to see who's going to participate in this challenge with me. I need accountability, so let that be you. Okay, guys, let's get into the interview with Samantha Kyle. All right. Well, hey, hi, and hello, Angelisa here, your host for Braap Babes Throttle Talk. And today I am so excited to be chatting with Samantha Kyle. She is a snowmobile rider and also a wake surfer, which we're going to get into, dive into those two topics and just so much more. So welcome, and thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Wow, what an opportunity to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me. And let's start off with an introduction. I can't talk today. Let's start off with an introduction today. Tell us who you are and where you're coming from today.
Well, I'm Samantha, and I'm coming from broadcasting just outside Morinville, Alberta. So if anyone knows where that is, it's in the central Alberta region.
Okay, and what's closest to? I don't know. I don't know the area. So would you be close?
45 minutes north of Edmonton, roughly.
Okay. There you go. Awesome. I have a point. Yeah, Edmonton and Calgary, and then I can figure out from there.
Yeah, by Edmonton.
Amazing. And then Samantha was just saying that it snowed last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got our third winter. You know those memes of the fall, spring, the mud season, spring, third winter. Yeah, we're definitely on our third winter now.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's been such an odd winter, and that's actually something that I wanted to kind of dive into right now is because it was such a weird winter, How did your season go this year?
Not as best as what I would have wanted. Like, I strive for a certain amount of days on the snow every year. I definitely did not get that this year.
Right, right.
Because the snow, like, usually our first ride is in December or November. I didn't get out till January. Very lacking of snow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just not your area. It's like everywhere too, I felt like.
Yeah, like, we had a brown Christmas at home, so we had no snow, which was very odd because the kids always bring out their snowmobiles, and that's our Christmas tradition. They go sledding around the farm and all the trails, and no, they were out on dirt bikes this Christmas.
Wow, what a difference. It's so weird. Yeah, like you said, if it's something that you enjoy and it's like kind of tradition for Christmas and there's snow on the ground, like what a different Christmas. I'm sure everyone's going to remember that.
Yeah, it was definitely when you look on the deck, you're just like, this is not Christmas Day right now. This is, no.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. Well, I know that you're hoping for more for more days on snow. But when you did get on snow, did you have like some good days? Did you learn anything?
Ironically, the amount of days that I managed to get out, we only had 2 days that were shit snow.
Okay.
The other days, like, we must have timed it just perfect. Like, we had powder days every other day. So maybe just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
We just got lucky this season.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah, it was. It was very fortunate.
And where is your local riding area?
I usually hang out Valemont McBride area.
Okay. Okay.
That's because it's the closest to home, and we have some friends that are out in McBride, so we just gravitate towards there more.
Gotcha. And what would be the travel time, like the distance between?
Valemont, without stopping for fuel, which we usually don't, is about a good solid 5.5 hours. McBride's about 5.5 hours, 6-hour drive.
Okay, so if you're doing those types of trips, are you spending the night or are you like driving early in the morning, sledding, and then driving home? I'm so curious about that. Okay.
We used to, but we're just at the age now where like we like rolling in at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, relaxing, going sit in the hot tub, and then getting up early and having a full day. But I have a couple friends who will leave at 2 a.m., arrive at 8, ride all day, and I even had a buddy who will go home the same day, but usually they'll stay the night, then ride again and go home the next day. It's just like too much.
It's taxing on the body and on the mind, and then like when you have to be mentally aware when you're in the backcountry, you know,
Yes,
and you're
exactly.
on little amounts of sleep.
I know. Yeah. I mean, it's a great way to save money, but I'm just like, I would rather spend the extra night in the hotel.
Yeah.
Just be more relaxed. It's not rush, 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 go, go, go.
And it's treating yourself at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wintertime is the only time I really ever get to go away. So when I have the opportunity to go away in the winter, I take advantage of it.
For sure. And they're like little mini vacations, you know, like in the winter. So
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, that's great to hear. I think it's awesome that people can do that and wake up 2 a.m. to like ride all day, but holy moly, there's no way that I could even like survive after 3 hours of riding.
I used to do that going to Revelstoke. We left at 2 a.m. and still go ride Revelstoke all day. So and that's a longer drive. That's about an 8.5, 9-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it.
Wow. Yeah. And then because it's winter, you know, then it's like the roads and then driving at night isn't always the best either. But sometimes you just got to make things work.
Yep. You just got to do what you got to do some days.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Were you able to participate in any ladies' rides this year?
Not this year, just because all the ladies' rides were either really far away, and I guess I'm not willing to drive myself down like a 12-hour to like Sicamous to ride for like a day. It's just like, if there was like a big group of us going and we were down for 3 or 4 days, 100%. But myself for a day of riding, it's like,
yeah, you have to pick and choose.
yeah, I justify the cost. And any ladies' rides up in Valemont McBride, I've been either gone or already on my own pre-planned trips already. So it's like nothing really worked out this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. It's hard to line up when there are, and then again, I feel like there was a few that might have even canceled because either there was no snow yet or just the
Yes,
conditions weren't
I have
great,
seen
right?
that on social media.
Yeah, yeah. So can you share with us how you got into sledding?
Well, that's kind of a funny story.
I want to hear
How I
it.
got interested in actually just a snowmobile itself was apparently I was really young. My dad actually reminded me of this the other day because we got talking about it. And he says, "No, your Uncle Morris was the one that got you into it." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" When I was a little kid, my Uncle Morris lives in Saskatchewan and they got a big dump of snow. And there was the random thought, hey, let's go visit Aunt and Uncle. We'll bring our little Yamaha Venture family sled out and let's go snowmobiling. I thought that was the most coolest thing ever. And I remember being out there and I was just, apparently I was just grinning ear to ear. I was just so excited. I was like jumping up and down like a little kid. And my uncle looked at my dad and said, she's going to be a sledder one day. That is the true sledder right there. And I was like maybe 5 years old.
Okay.
So I guess that's where I got my interest from. But I guess I always grew up on power sports my whole life. Like my dad and I would always go quadding.
Yeah.
I quadded with him well into my teenager years.
Okay. I was
And
going to
then-
ask if it was like a family sport, like if you guys did things like that together.
Well, immediate family never grew up snowmobiling.
Okay.
It's just my aunt and uncle in Saskatchewan. They were the snowmobilers. So
I see.
other than that, like my family never grew up snowmobiling.
That's fair. That's fair. But you said like you were able to go quadding and do that sort of thing with them.
Yeah, I was able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing that. Yeah, when you can do these sports with, your immediate family is always kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, I think how everyone kind of gets into it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to talk about your snowmobile setup. So, what snowmobile are you riding right now?
I just picked up a Gen 5 a couple months ago. So that's a brand new sled, my first big girl purchase.
Oh, that's amazing.
Brand new, yeah.
Brand new. Okay, so tell me about it. How, like, that you just picked it up for this season?
It was on a whim.
Okay.
It showed up like just after the new snow checks come out and it was sitting at the dealership still in a crate when they got it in the fall and they couldn't sell it because of no snow.
Right.
And of course, curiosity's sake, hey, what's this worth? And then I pondered and pondered on it and here we are.
Okay, awesome. And so what were you riding before then?
I was riding a Gen 4.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And do you notice a difference?
oh, it's night and day difference. Night and day. My Gen 4 was a 165.
Okay.
My Gen 5 is a 154 and it has the 34 front end. Night and day difference. Night and day difference. Like, phenomenal.
Yeah. For those that are listening in that might not know what we're talking about with the 165 to a 154 is we're talking about the track. And so you have different lengths of track. A 165-inch track is longer than the 154. And so when you are talking about did you notice the track difference, like when you're climbing or just staying, like, did you have to give it more gas so you didn't sink in? Tell me about your experience.
I did notice the climbing. It definitely wheelies a bit more because
Yeah.
since I have the Edge package, it has the 146 tunnel, so it's a shorter tunnel yet.
Yeah.
So I definitely noticed that wheeling more.
Okay.
I am aggressive on the throttle, so I didn't really notice much of a difference with me having to put more input in it. But I remember when I was going to purchase this sled, I was debating, do I get a 3-inch paddle or do I get a 2.5-inch paddle? Because my Gen 4 was a 2.5 paddle, and I got everywhere with that thing. So I was
Right.
debating with the shorter track length, do I go up to a 3-inch? And it was the great debate for like 2 weeks because I had the opportunity to get both. There was about $1,000 price difference, so that kind of was just like, eh.
Right.
I still stuck with the 2.5 because the longevity of the track,
Yeah.
because we always ride Renshaw Trail quite a bit,
Okay.
and the bigger lugs on the track tend to heat up more. and beats the shit out of the track, especially on a longer trail.
Yeah.
And a 2.5 has faster track speed.
Interesting.
That is what I wanted. I wanted, especially in a 154, like that track is just spinning. So I don't even notice I would even need a 3-inch, because I've learned on a 2.5. I learned how to do it, and I went still 2.5, and it's still does what I need it to do.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great input, great feedback, and especially those that are, considering. It is a huge debate. Like, do I go with a shorter lug or a longer lug? And the lugs, again, like on the track. And you're right with the 3-inch paddles or lugs, whatever you want to call them. They do rip off so easy. They do get wrecked. I've seen so many people go through their tracks, and they're expensive.
Yeah, and I didn't really, knowing my luck, all this would have happened outside of warranty, just like all my other warranty experiences. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna extend the life of this track as long as I can.
Totally. Yeah, smart. Really smart. Well, yeah, I appreciate your feedback for sure. And any modifications that you have done on your snowmobile to make it custom and fit you perfectly?
Shorter riser, because I just have stock Ski-Doo bars. That's all what I've ridden with. I do want to try the Kuipers down the road.
Yeah.
But the stock one, Ski-Doo, comes with like this height, and then it's the next one down. I always ride with that one because I'm a bit shorter.
Okay.
But if you were to ask my partner which one he likes better, he prefers a way up here.
Right.
I mean, he hates my risers, but that's whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I also, that's a non-negotiable, is the curved brake leader. Brake lever. Jesus, I can't talk either today.
Okay.
I ran the TKI, and I ran that for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
That game changer, because it's just, I have long fingers, but when on the stock lever, it's always held out like really far, and it puts extra strain on it all day, versus with the curved, it's a little bit more relaxed. So your finger's able to get in the brake lever a little bit easier, and it's easier to pull because it's like right there.
Yeah. And comfortable, I'm sure.
Yes. It's way more comfortable. And then I got on my partner's sled because he just has the stock brake lever. I'm like, what is this foreign thing?
Right. It feels so different. Oh, that's nice. Like when things can fit, like especially on your hands and you're driving and you don't need to think about it, right? And everything just pulls in nicely. That's when you know you have a really good setup. Like if you're constantly thinking like, oh, my fingers hurt because I'm trying to pull this in, then that's where you might want to think of changing something.
Yes,
adjusting something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, you'll have to send me a photo of what that looks like, because I don't think I've seen a curved brake lever. And it was TKI?
Yeah. But I think Kuiper makes them too now. Ski-Doo come out this year or last year. Don't come at me if I'm wrong. With the adjustable brake lever, which kind of does the same thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me.
Yeah. I'm sure, yeah. I think you might be right, but I can't remember. Okay, well, that's good to know. And any other adjustments or anything?
Not as of yet, because it's still a new sled. Like, I do want to try the new handlebars, like get a little bit narrower just to see, because on the women Facebook pages, they always rave about shorter handlebars. And I'm like, well, I've managed fine with my stock Ski-Doo ones.
Yeah.
Is there something to be said, maybe?
Well, I think Ski-Doo has come a long way with their bar and their riser setup. Like when I first started, I was riding a 2013 XP, and the risers were like 10 inches, and then their bars were like, I don't know, like massive. Like it just didn't fit me, And I remember now I think they come, I want to say the risers are like 6 inches or something like that. Like I just feel like they've adjusted a lot since like 2013. So I feel like, like you could go with a bar and try it out. But again, with technology and with them listening to you, their customers, I think they've done a pretty good job with their bar setup.
Yeah, definitely. And manufacturers seem to be always improving and coming out with like new things anyway that you can now get stock from factory instead of having to buy aftermarket, etc.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too, like, because I've tested. I feel like I've tested tons of products, spent a lot of money trying to, invest in products that fit me perfectly, and it would be nice to have a sled where you don't have to invest or you don't have to spend that money. You can save like a couple, maybe $1,000. I don't know. Like, I should tally up to see how much my mods have costed me.
Yeah, yep. Sledding is, nothing's cheap for this.
No, not at all. I mean, I love the sport, but yeah, it's an expensive one, that's for sure.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Is there, okay, we talked a little bit about this, and I think I know the answer, but just in case, is there one thing you cannot ride without?
Definitely the curved lever. That's just, no.
Non-negotiable.
It's so boring. Yeah.
Okay.
That is, I do want to try finger throttle. Everyone raves about it, but I'm just like, I grew up with thumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't made the jump yet to try it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely was that way too. Grew up with a thumb throttle, and then I did try it. I tried it. I hated it, and then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go in it with a better mindset and just like give it an actual try. And then that's when I was like, oh, there is a bit of a difference. And it was just like a dirt bike, so it just made sense to have a finger like on the clutch, or sorry, on the throttle, then the thumb. After that, that's when it was like, oh, that makes sense. But
okay, yeah, I never thought of that too.
because you like dirt bikes like brake and clutch, and then when you hop on a sled, it's throttle and brake, and your fingers are already positioned there. So,
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
but
Okay.
not trying to convert, but it just like made sense, and then I didn't have to like go back between muscle memory of thumb to finger every season.
True, yeah.
It's just little, I mean, it's not a big deal. But
I'm probably going to make the jump this summer and just do it.
yeah,
Because worst case, if I hate it, then I just convert it over to a thumb.
exactly.
Or I sell it because everyone wants them, so it's it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and I want to talk about your backpack. What can we find in your sledding backpack?
Oh dear, everything.
Okay.
What's in there right now? Heated gloves, must. My fingers always freeze. I was blessed with poor circulation in my fingers, so they always freeze.
Right.
Heated handlebars, just don't do it.
Okay.
So on the trail, they freeze, so heated gloves are a must. My Garmin InReach, that always stays in there. A headlamp. I've got first aid kit. I got survival kit in there. I have a tarp, radio. Oh boy, what else? A little bit of random knickknacks. Oh, and the spare skidoo key. If you know, you know.
For sure. That's smart. Very smart.
Yeah. Like, I love skidoo, but that's their one biggest flaw is that if you lose the key, you're done.
Yeah.
You got to get it towed out. There's no way you're Jimmy rigging to start that on the mountain. Polaris, you just unhook the two wires, put them together, you're golden.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
But
for sure.
you, no, not so lucky if you lose your key.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Heated gloves. Do you start your day with heated gloves, or do you only save that for later?
Both.
Okay.
I have learned trying to be me. Be like, no, I don't need these on the trail going up. Nope. 9 times out of 10, they always freeze. So now I just put them out in the mornings, regardless how cold it is. That unless the spring riding is like +3, but that's a little different. But every day, nope. They go on in the morning, up the trail, and they come down on the trail at night.
Yeah. Okay.
It has made my life so much happier. Even the wind, I even got wind guard deflectors on my handlebars too.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good to know because, I'm the same. And I do have heated gloves as well. And yeah, it's definitely a game changer when you feel comfortable in the backcountry and you feel warm and like not like too hot, but like comfortable. It just makes such a better riding experience rather than when you're cold and you can't feel your hands or
Yeah, exactly. Or your fingers get to the point where they're so cold, they're painstakingly, then you have to like open your suit and like shove them in your armpits to
totally.
like warm up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing. And then I want to talk about like your ideal, your dream, like riding day. What does that look like for you?
Um, It's gonna sound a little bit funny, but my dream day is when it starts dumping the night before, and
Okay.
you wake up in the morning and the visibility is just crap. It's snowing, it's crap, it's foggy, it's cloudy, and you're like, this is not gonna be a good day today. You go to the parking lot, it's still not letting up, and you're like, well, let's just try it anyway. But then there's an immersion, or inversion, sorry, inversion, and it ends up being the most bluebird afternoon. That is like the best day because when people see crappy weather in the morning, they're not opts to go up, and so a lot of people who bail because they're like, no, we don't want to deal with crappy visibility. No, no, we'll just wait till the sun comes out. But then the early bird gets the worm. You
Yeah.
go up anyway, and it's a bluebird afternoon.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah. Bluebird, sun with POW, like, is probably the best riding day
yeah,
experience.
especially when it's all untouched. You get the first dibs on it. Oh,
Yes, yes, absolutely. And to go a bit further, what is your jam? Like, are you a tree rider? Are you like open face, like POW carve? Like, what do you love to do?
I like a mix of everything.
Okay.
Like I like a challenge, but I also like those open meadows of just deep, deep powder carving. Like especially when the sun is coming down and you just like you're getting the snow shots to your face. It's just
Yeah.
those are the days sledders live for. But when you can find some really epic tree riding, which I just started really kind of getting more into,
Yeah.
it just yeah. So I
Okay.
guess I'm like an all-around mix.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it helps with all the skills as well, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, when you say you're getting into tree riding, what does that look like?
I've always been scared of trees. Like my first few years of riding, I've been pinned against a tree. I've smashed my sled off a tree. I've almost been in tree wells. I just had no good experience with trees.
Right.
So I was
Yeah.
so anti trees. No, I'm not going in there. But then my buddy always tried to make a point to me. No, you have to learn to tree ride because that's where the snow is. No, no, no. There's lots of bowls around. No, I'm fine. Well, he was right. Because finally found some like really sparse trees and just started poking in. I'm like, oh, he was right. This is way more fun. And it's a bit of a challenge too. So like I found my Gen 5 was a little bit harder to maneuver in the trees for me just because it was a longer track.
Yeah.
So I was like really nervous to get into something really technical in the trees and trying to boat handle that thing around.
Right.
But now with the shorter sled and the smaller sled, it's like, oh, doink, like, oh, there's a line, gone. It just now I don't even think about it.
Yeah, there is a massive difference when you think about like the longer track, and then when you're hopping onto a smaller sled, it definitely does wrap around trees, or not wrap around, but like you can like start to snake your way through a bit. Like it's a bit more nimble, or
Yeah,
maneuverable.
yeah, I guess that would be the better way to put it, more nimble.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm glad that you like pushed out of your comfort zone and went for it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta how did I do it? I just looked at a tree and said, screw it, what's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And just went for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that's just how it goes. You gotta like just trust in your skills and just say like, okay, I can do this. We got it.
Yeah. Just make sure you tell your group, hey, I'm going in here. If I don't surface,
Totally.
on my
Yes.
line.
Yeah. Key is to let everyone know where you're going. Awesome. And I want to talk a little bit about your goals, what your goals were for this past winter season for 2024. And what were your goals, and were you able to complete the goals with the amount of days that you put in?
Well, the start of 2024, I had my Gen 4, so I didn't really have any set goals except get better on it. And the goal was go in the trees more. That's always my goal every year. Go in there more. Go in there more. I didn't think I was going to complete that goal until I got my new sled this year. And I was just like, okay, let's go. Brand new sled. What's going to happen? Sure, let's go beat it up. But I've always had this goal since I started mountain riding that I always want to pull a chute. I want to pull a chute on an NA sled. I think that would be the highlight of my sledding.
Okay.
But I'm still chickening out over it because I sit at the bottom and I'm like, that is really steep. And then I get thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, what can go wrong? I'm like, okay, there's the point of no return. What happens if I'm past the point of no return? I'm like, this is a long way down. I'm like,
Right.
I'm still working up confidence to be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's terrifying, for sure.
Yeah.
So would that be a goal for next year?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
It's always going to be a goal here on out every year until it's done.
Yeah.
But I
Is
do
there
think longer track would help, but we'll try it on the 154.
Yeah. Is there like in a perfect world, it would be great where you could have like, a mellower chute, work your way up to like the super steep chute. Is there anything kind of like that in your area where it's like you can like get the taste of it? No.
Not in my area. There's not a lot of chutes out in my area. The only chutes I've experienced is down in Boulder in the airport chutes.
Okay.
So that's the only chutes I really have experience with. Like the way in and out of the airport chutes is called the training chute.
Okay.
It's just a really steep hill. It's just called the training chute, from what I was told. So I can pull that, but I don't really count that as a true chute.
Okay. Then does it kind of give you like a sense of, I guess, that feeling that maybe you could like move on to a steeper one?
If I pulled it enough times and built up my confidence, then yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you would need also the right snow for it, and
yeah, I'm sure there's a few factors. Okay, well that's good to know. So I look forward to that goal next year.
we will try it.
Amazing. And any struggles or obstacles that you're currently facing when it comes to your sport? Now, you did mention about some confidence when it comes to doing a chute or some maybe hill climbs. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
I guess current struggles, and my whole group tells me this, is that I lack confidence in myself. They've seen me ride. They say I'm a very good rider, but I don't see it, so I don't have that confidence in myself. They're like, no, you have the skills to do this, just do it. And then I'm like, no, I'm not that good of a rider. Then they're like, stop, you are a good rider. So I guess confidence is still always an ongoing struggle, and always trying to be good at something. I don't like failing in front of people, because then it just like, I get frustrated where it's like, well, he can do that, she can do that, why can't I do that? I guess that's my biggest problem, that I have to bundle down and be like, no, we're learning. We've all been there. It's okay to fail.
And failing is the only way you're ever going to learn.
Yeah, 100%. You fail, then you know what to do for next time, and you try again. And you keep failing until you succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can relate to when it comes to confidence, like I think most women in motorsports, we do lack some confidence. And it is one of the, I say this on the podcast all the time, sledding is the hardest sport. I will claim that is the hardest sport anyone could get into, especially for us women.
I will agree with you there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's going to take a long time to build confidence because there's so much to it, such a huge learning curve. And I think that you could like gain your confidence, but then there's always going to be something that's going to like be humbling or like set you back and just be like, oh my God, okay, you know, like kind of not ruffle your feathers. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it can knock down your confidence a little bit too, you know, and it's just like, it's a sport that always shows you what you need to work on. It's constantly showing you what your flaws are.
Yeah, and it makes you stay humble.
Yes, 100%. So I relate so much, and thank you so much for sharing, because I know myself and other women would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think we all experience it to some degree. Mm-hmm. It's just some of us keep it on the inside, and then some of us are a little bit more vocal about it. But at the end of the day, we all go through it.
We all go through it.
If someone says they don't, I call their bull crap on it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some people like to, you know, act tough, but it's like, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to like share these things. It's more relatable.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Tell us the process of what you do to get mentally prepared for a big day in the mountains.
Mentally prepared, I guess check the avalanche forecast. I'm always the one checking the avalanche forecast in the morning because no one else does it.
Right. Yeah.
We rely on me to check the avalanche forecast.
Yeah.
So then I kind of have the mental picture like, okay, there was a storm last night. There's a slab. It's considerable. Okay. Just have it in the back of your head. Mm-hmm. Check the weather to see what the weather's going to be like mentally. Well, to like mentally prepare yourself. That's what I meant. Yeah. I always have to give myself a little pep talk in the morning. Like, I used to be so nervous going out every morning. My heart would be beating. I would have no appetite. I would just be, like, completely freaked out going. That's gone away now that I've gone out so many times. Mm-hmm. But I still got to do the little pep talk, like, nope, today's going to be a good day. We're going to have fun. Doesn't matter. Any day on the mountain is still a better day than at work. It doesn't matter how today's going to go.
Yeah.
So those little pep talks in the morning, I guess.
Okay. That's great advice. I am so happy you mentioned that. I think talking to yourself and giving yourself a pep talk can go such a long way.
If there was a microphone underneath my helmet throughout the day, it would be funny to listen to.
You know what? You should rig up a microphone and like have this is what you should do. But no, like I think that would be such a relatable moment. Like when because yeah, I talk to myself sometimes. I sing to myself if I'm nervous or whatever. But I think that would be such a cool thing to see from a point of view shot, you know?
Yeah, I never thought of it. I might have to use the bleepers a bit because if there's some like hard terrain or like a bus terrain, it's like F this, what the F are they taking me into, what the?
But it would be entertaining.
It would be very entertaining.
Right?
Next season.
Yes.
We'll have some helmet commentary.
Yes, do it, please. I think that we need more of that. I don't know if you see some of these like little like toddlers learning how to ski or snowboard or whatever. I've seen this a few times where the parents hook up some type of microphone mm-hmm. and they film the kids, and the kids are always talking to themselves, like giving themselves pep talks. It's so cute. And so when you said that, that's kind of what I envisioned. And I think that just even like, yeah, just seeing your point of view, what you say when you're like navigating through, I think would be such a very entertaining video.
I think so too. Now that you mention it, yeah, it would be actually quite entertaining.
Because we all say it like, what the F are we doing? Like, what is this? Or
one of my last Instagram reels, my GoPro caught it because I said it out loud a little bit loud, and I was just like, we had to go up this gnarly. The video doesn't do justice. This gnarly side hill that a turbo went up already, and everyone had got up, and it was just chewed, and I was just like, not having a good. I was just like, oh dear. I said some colorful language on it that I. Oops, but what can you do?
Yeah. I might even like screen record that video and insert it into this video podcast just so people can see. Because, yeah, like, we can't sugarcoat anything. Like, when you're out there, you know, we say things and we get exhausted, or we get like fearful of what's about to come. And like you said, tracks or like trails can be chewed up, you know, hill climbs can be chewed up, and you're just like, what?
Exactly. You're just like, oh, I should have went up first.
Yes.
Should have went up first, not last.
Yes. Oh, been there. I know that feeling for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing that, because I think that's super important, like with the, you know, checking out the avalanche, mentally getting prepared for that. I'm also curious, what does your yeah, that's my next question. What do you do for self-care after sledding?
Well, after a day of sledding, I guess I turn into a little bit of an introvert.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, my cats are scrapping. Oh, well.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Because, like, I'm not really, like, a people person. So when I've been hanging out with my group all day, it's a little bit too much stimulation. So when I get back from the hill, I just like to de-pack my bag, hang out my gear, go for a shower, and I like to hide in my room for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
I just like to decompress, play on my phone, play on my iPad, whatever I want to do, just scroll, just do something mindless, decompress for half an hour, and everyone is always wondering like, well, is Sam okay? Is she okay? Da da da. I'm just like, no, just leave me alone for half an hour. Just leave me alone. And then once I've decompressed, then we're good. Go join the group. Then we have our beers. We go for our hot tub. And then we're all good.
Yeah.
But I guess that's my one thing. I just need to decompress at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something to be said about that. Like, your body just wants to relax. I'm sure you just like, you know, you've spent all day talking and like maybe even like going through some big conversations about like the terrain and how to get through, like lots of mental work, you know, when it comes to sledding, that, yeah, you're right. Like after that, your body can't think.
Like, exactly. You just need a minute to yourself just to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing. I think that's key. And I can, again, relate to that. I am also an introvert, so I really need my alone time. Like, need to hide in my room.
You can relate on that. If you know, you know.
Yes, 100%. Oh, man. Okay, well, how do you stay motivated in learning, like, your techniques and really honing in on your skills when it comes to sledding?
Well, I guess staying motivated is... I'm forced to follow my group around, which is made up of guys who are way better riders than I am. Mm-hmm. And they hit all the cool stuff. They go all into the cool terrain, and I want to do that. So I force myself, then that keeps me motivated to get better, because then I'm able to follow them into all this funky terrain. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I'm able to do all this stuff and be like, wow, I did that. Yeah. Finally.
Oh,
I guess
cool.
Looking back on the progress in the past, because I'll remember looking at some terrain features, like in the past, I'd be like, I used to have tantrums at the bottom of this terrain feature, and someone had to ride my sled out of another one. Mm-hmm. And then now, years later, it's just like, oh, this is easy. Doing, gone. Mm-hmm. No problems. So I guess seeing how far you've come is another motivator, what keeps me going further.
Okay. Ooh, I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Yes, the progress and the before, like how you might have reacted to now. What a game changer too, also.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, I remember this one feature specifically. I have, like, looked at my partner and I was just like, this is a hard nope, nope, nope. He's yelled at me at the bottom of the hill saying, just go and do it. You're fine. You won't die and all this, the whole works. I was just, nope, nope, nope. He ended up taking the sled up and I ended up walking up the hill. I was just, nope, nope,
Okay.
I've had enough. And then come back here last year, I'm just like, oh, this actually wasn't as bad as what I had put it in my head to be.
Right, right. But when you are in those moments, sometimes like it's really hard for us to see the bigger picture.
Yeah. And women, I think, are a little bit more susceptible to that.
Yeah.
Once they get in their head, like, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst that's going to happen? If you try it, you fail. If you're with a good group of people, they're going to come get you out anyway. So the worst you can do is not try, I guess.
Yes.
There we go. There's my trick. The worst you can do is not try.
Yes. That's a good one. All right. Well, thank you for sharing about your sledding with us. I think all of that we can definitely resonate. We're going to shift gears here and we're going to talk about wake surfing. So I want to know, how did you get into it? And also, do you compete in wake surfing? Or is it just like recreational, just fun times?
It is solely recreational. I'm not on the water. Okay, I am on the water a lot in the summer, but not enough to go to a competition level just because I'm so busy with work in the summer.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But recreationally, I love it. My partner, I actually, to be honest, never heard of wake surfing in my life. Don't
Okay.
come at me. Until I got with my partner and he was like, he had the boat and everything, and then we were going out and I'm like, well, what is this board? Like, completely foreign, because I always thought it was water skiing and wakeboarding, like, and tubing, and that's it. Then he's like, oh, well, it's surfing. I was like, what? Tell me more about this. And then he got on, then he's really good at it. I'm just like, oh, that looks like fun. Oh, I want to do that. No, I'm gonna do that.
That's
So I
cool.
guess that's kind of how I got into it.
Okay. Oh, cool.
3 years ago?
Sorry, what was that?
That was about 3 years ago.
Okay. Oh, that's so fun. Yeah. Have you tried wakeboarding before?
No, I've
Okay.
always wanted to, but I have knee injuries and I'm just so scared because I've seen, again, my partner smack his face against the water with a wakeboard and just, I am scared to injure my knee with it. At least with a surfboard, if you're gonna fall, you just fall back, you feet in the air.
Yeah.
It's safer versus the board is strapped to your, it cringes me. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant to try it.
Yeah.
He thinks I'd be okay, but I'm like, I don't trust myself to.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I think wake surfing, at least from what I used to wakeboard and wake surf, and just doing the transferring over to wake surfing, it just felt like a lot safer for my knees at the end of the day, right? Yeah.
Because if you hate it, you just put your foot back on the back of the board and you just let go and you just sink down. It's calm.
I feel like, though, because you are wake surfing, you know how to get up, you know how to hold on to because you're still holding on to, oh my God, think brain, the handle with the rope. What is that called? Tow rope?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if there's a term for it.
The rope. The
rope.
The rope, yeah.
I should know this, but yes. So, you know what this used to be a thing, me growing up, was wake skating. So wake skate is like a wakeboard, but without the boots, like the attachments. And it's like a skateboard, but you're on the water. I don't know if it's a thing anymore, though, to be honest.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
To me, I think you would need like a bigger board in order to support the person's weight. That's why I'm like, a skateboard on a.
So it would be like a wakeboard, but with grip tape on it. And then I think I'm just trying to jog my memory. This was like when I was in my 20s, early 20s. They might have had like skate shoes, like waterproof skate shoes, or they might have just gone on their feet. But I feel like bare feet wouldn't feel so nice on the grip tape.
No, I don't think so either.
Right? So it was a huge thing. I could have died out though. I haven't kept up with wakeboarding since, but that would be kind of neat because then you're not. It's like wake surfing, but you can like, still ride the wake, maybe even like play around, but you're holding onto the tow rope or the handle rope.
Yeah.
So you're not like surfing.
Yeah, it's like the in-between of like surfing and like wakeboarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's interesting. I'm going to Google this after. Now I'm curious.
Right? Yeah, I should look into that too. Again, not that I wakeboard anymore, but yeah, if you were thinking about wakeboarding, but you're like hesitant, maybe somebody might have a wake skate and you can give that a go. Because then you're not attached.
Yeah, and that's my biggest fear is being attached and just wiping out. That's my biggest. I'm like, I need my body to work. Do I really want to hurt it?
Yeah, that's the thing with these sports. Hey, it's like, I feel like injury. Like, how can we prevent injury and longevity, especially? Yeah. So,
and then especially as you get older, you really question. You're just like, okay, I'm not 20 anymore. I can't just bounce back.
Yeah. 100%. Well, for those that are listening that want to try wake surfing, do you have any tips to share?
It is a lot harder than it looks.
Okay.
It's all about balance. If you have no sense of balance, and some people just naturally don't have balance, which is fine, it's going to be very hard for you to learn because you got your front foot, your back foot, but also you got back and forth because you got your toe and your edge. It's like snowboarding basically, but on the wave. And it's all about finding that sweet spot between the back of the boat and the curl of the wave where it'll keep pushing you forward, that you are able to let go of the rope. Like, because at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. Let go of the rope and just ride the wave and just let the wave do all the work and do that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I guess beginner tricks, and you also don't need, this is I've seen it happen and I can tell you firsthand, you don't need the biggest wave to start out with.
Okay.
You don't, like, my partner has technically a ski boat. It's not technically a wake surf boat, but placing certain people in certain positions on the boat with a full tank with the wedge down, it produces a wake enough to surf on.
Right.
Like, we've had some beautiful wake surf waves on, but you need more people for more weight.
Right.
What I'm able to surf behind his boat with just 2 people on it because it produces a smaller wave, less weight, less people, less boat roll. I find that so much nicer than having like 5 or 6 people and having this giant wave, because it's intimidating when you're up in the air, like, or not just not up in the air, but up in the wave, 2 feet. You're just like, oh, this is going really fast. And then the rush of the water is like, it can be intimidating. So I guess that's what I would tell people is like, you don't need the biggest wave to go, especially if you're just learning and you have and you're not going to be letting go of the rope in like your first while. There's just no way. I still cannot let go of the rope fully because I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But when you have the smaller wave that you don't need to let go of the rope, it's a little bit more calmer, tamer. You can get used to the wave and then play around with it. So that's the biggest advice. You don't need these big waves to start out with.
That's good to know, because I always thought, the bigger the wave, the better or easier it would be for wake surfing.
It is 100% because you have the wave pushing you, but for starting out, it can be intimidating because this wave is huge. So then to bring down the intimidation factor to a little bit more comforting, the smaller the wave. It'll still push you, for sure. You can still wake surf on it.
Yeah. Cool. And then I just had a question pop up. Oh, have you gone surfing before?
Actual, like, ocean surfing?
Yeah.
No, I actually haven't.
Okay.
I've always wanted to try it, but it just never panned out. Never actually had the opportunity to go.
Right. I was just going to say, with your experience with wake surfing, if you found, like if it helped with, like, learning how to surf or anything like that, but...
It's on a bucket list.
Okay.
I will let you know when eventually I complete it.
We will do this again and you can report back.
I'll be like, okay, Angelisa, do you remember this one time? Okay, here's the updates.
Perfect. I would love that. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing because I feel like, a few people would love to know any tips because it is intimidating when you start something new. And again, like accepting to be a beginner, but if you can share any tips, it's always helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to talk a little bit about the mentorship because you and I worked together. We did the one-on-one mentorship program called the Jumps and Drops. And I'm just curious, what was one of your biggest takeaways when it comes to creating content?
It is a lot of work. Like, I like social media. Well, I can't say I like social media. Like, I'm very social media savvy. I always like being caught up on the latest stuff on social media. But to do content creation, it's actually a lot of work. It's not just, just post pictures, just post this and whatever. No, you actually have to put a plan in place and actually think about it and strategically post certain things at certain times too. It's just like, you need to plan it. It is 100% a plan.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Would you say though, from like kind of the pre-planning, knowing what you're going to post and knowing like what you need to capture kind of beforehand, like has that helped with any type of burnout, or you're not like wondering, oh, what am I going to post today? Like, did it relieve any stress for you when it comes to, creating content?
It did, yes. Yeah. But I find it hard when I go on these sled trips to really have a game plan of, okay, I'm going to get this shot, because I ride with a bunch of dudes who are not into that. So it's hard to rely on them to do these things for me.
Right.
And I don't want to waste a day riding of like trying to do shots all day. Like, hey, like, I guess that's a big struggle. So when I go out riding, I have the mindset, okay, let's just tape everything. If something comes to mind, it's kind of like on the go. Yeah. Think of things on the go when I'm out riding, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Like, you can't really plan the ride itself. But I think if you just like, if you're able to have a GoPro on you, or like if you can get your partner maybe to take a couple shots of you, like getting some POW shots, does help. But yeah, it's, you can't just specifically go out and just be like, okay, I'm just going to work on this one technique.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you are like riding with a big group.
Yeah. And the group just wants to ride, and you're just like, no, take pictures. And then they're like, no, we're going riding. It's like, well, okay, all right, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. And it does take, like, again, being strategic, planning it, then when you're gonna like show up online, but still, like, even if you're doing a talking to camera or a voiceover, you're still like, it's still a bit of a struggle. At least that's how I find too. It's like when you're building a brand is your voice, and like that can be a thing,
Yeah, exactly. I know I should be better at it, but it's still a learning curve.
It's always, I feel like content creation is always a learning curve. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, because again, I think a lot of us do relate. If you were to whisper in the ear of young Samantha, who is just getting into sledding, what would you tell her?
Stop getting in your head so much.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, I am in my head way too much than what I need to be. Mm-hmm. And stop overthinking. Sledding is simple. Well, it's not simple, but just stop overthinking it and just do the damn thing. Because what's the worst that's going to happen is, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love it. And any advice for beginner riders?
Find yourself a really good group of people to ride with. I will tell everyone that till I go blue in the face. Mm-hmm. Like, you ride with shitty people, it could be the best day on the snow, but if you're with shitty people, you're going to have a shitty day. Mm-hmm. Your group is what makes or breaks you. But also, you need a group that's also smart. You don't need idiots. You need basically a MacGyvers, you need your medics, you need the navigators, you need the one who hoards all the food. You kind of need these people with all these jobs. Because that's what makes a really good tight-knit group. Because then if something goes wrong, you can deal with it. That's why you need the MacGyver instead of having to always rely on a helicopter to pull out your sled. Be like, okay, let's bush fix this and let's get it going. How can we solve the situation? You need the navigator, who always has I'm the navigator. Always has the Garmin with all the pinpoints and be like, okay, we're lost. Okay, we gotta go this way. This is where we gotta go. Someone who knows how to do first aid, and find yourself a group that's, when you're learning, that is willing to not deal with you, but push you and as well as help you. But there's a difference between being an asshole about it and being helpful about it.
Yeah.
I rode a season with probably one of the most worst human beings that I've ever known to life. And he was the reason why I wanted to get out of sledding. Aww. Absolutely the reason why. I actually put my sled up for sale. He was we won't go down this road, but no, he ruined a whole season for me. Absolutely ruined it. Just because his shitty narcissistic attitude and just, no. And then I found a new group, changed my perspective. No. Ladies, just make sure you have your sled family. People that you can rely on.
Yeah.
And that if you're struggling, they're able to help you get you and your sled out, or they're able to teach you. That is what girls need. They need their best sled family. Whether that's guys, girls. I prefer riding with the guys because they seem to ride a bit harder and do more challenging stuff, so that motivates me to follow them. But that's just my personal preference. So I guess that's my biggest takeaway for newbies.
Awesome. Such good advice. And I love how you broke it down to everyone has a job. I've never heard that before. But when you're selecting people, if you're able to create little, jobs, and then you come together and everyone can help each other.
Mentally kind of okay, if I know the sled's breaking down, I know he's able to do this. If I'm hurt, I'm able to do this. Or it's just kind of those things, mentally prepare, okay, if we're out in the mountain at night with this group, can we survive? Yes.
Yeah.
Or the minute you say, I don't trust my group to be able to get me out of a shitty situation, able to spend the night on the mountain, or just constantly just bring up beer and that's all they bring up all day. I mean, whatever. Maybe not the best group to ride with.
Right.
Or if they're full of themselves and will leave you stuck. I've had that happen. And go play off in their own way and they'll leave you to get unstuck by yourself. No, that's a hard no.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing, because I do believe that. And that's such a good tidbit, too. A quote you live by.
If an opportunity presents itself, run with it. It's just, I say that all the time in my everyday, just everything.
Yeah.
Because, again, you don't know till you try.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to fail. Big whoop. But I remember Jen McPherson, she's on Instagram. She put out a video, and I can't remember it exactly, but it always stuck with me of, yeah, you may fail, but what if you succeed? What if you succeed? Yeah, you probably will fail, but that always has stuck with me, and I've always resonated with that.
It's a good one. So good. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And lastly, where can we find you on socials?
Just my Instagram.
Okay.
Just that Samantha Jane Kyle.
Okay.
And Kyle is exactly how it is spelled. There's no funky spelling to it.
Okay. I will have that on the screen, and I'll also leave that on the show notes so you guys can go follow Samantha. And I have a last section here where it's a quick rapid fire question, so you just need to pick one or the other answer. Are you ready for it?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. All right, so finger or thumb throttle?
Thumb throttle.
Two-piece or monosuit?
Monosuit.
No visibility with lots of pow, or extremely cold and sunny?
Low visibility and powder.
Okay. Weekend warrior or weekday slayer?
Oh, weekday slayer, 100%.
Would you rather ride through water like large puddles or gravel?
Depending on how deep the water is. I don't like that feeling of I might lose my sled.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, let's say it's like you're just getting across, but you have to cross some water. It's not too deep, like where you're gonna sink it.
I still pick the gravel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all of my questions and the rapid fire questions. So thank you so much, Samantha, for joining me today. It was so awesome to hear a little bit more of your story and your journey when it comes to sledding and wake surfing. Thank you for coming on the show.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's been a good time.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you feel that way. Thank you so much for tuning in today's show. Please rate and review this podcast. I would forever be thankful and grateful. Share it with your friends, family, and whoever you feel would enjoy these types of conversations in the dirt bike, snowmobile, and motorsports community. If you are looking to support the show, I do have a few affiliate links in the show notes. And if you're looking for some confidence in the digital space, learning how to brand yourself, edit your epic sends, and just being the vibe, being your true self, your authentic self, shoot me a message. You can reach me over on my website, angelisaedwards.com. And as always, I am rooting for you, and keep killing it safely, and I'll see you next week.